Welcome to NRC, episode, the next one.
Yes.
Yes.
This is my hat. He's sitting on top of a water bottle this episode.
The water was too cold. It's too cold in this room.
In this
today.
room, that's not true at all. I wish it was
No.
too cold in this
Yeah.
room, that I would be able to wear my hat. But sadly, it is warm and slightly muggy.
Yep.
Not as bad as it was this afternoon.
Mm.
If
Oh,
you're
well.
wondering, my name is Noah.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Curtis.
And now we have redone that intro that we recorded an hour ago.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, look at these fresh clothes we're wearing from last week's episode.
Yes.
Perfect.
Very good.
So the last command.
The last...
the third and
command.
final entry in the Thrawn trilogy.
Wow.
Yes.
I never thought I'd see it come to an end. When will it end?
Well, it technically didn't end because Timothy Zahn kept making more books.
Haha, the new canon has been good for something, I guess.
Yeah.
We're getting more Thrawn because he's not dead anymore.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
That's
You
the only
spoiled-
good thing.
He spoiled the book.
I'm-
Thrawn dies in this book.
That's true. I'm pretty sure people
Oh.
have read this if they're watching this.
Oh.
Maybe.
If not, I'm Curtis, bleep that whole section. Beep.
Yeah.
We'll
Fix it in post.
fix it in post, or just cut it out, and there's going to be a very abrupt jump cut to this point in the video, for which I apologize.
I'll probably leave it in.
Tragic.
Okay. So this is off the heels of Thrawn's
Victory.
victory, acquiring of most of the Dark Force or whatever.
And we now know that there is a clone army
All right. the
ready
clone
to
army.
fill all those ships. That's why he desperately needed ships.
Right.
The puzzle pieces are coming together.
Yeah. Can't have ships without clones. Can't have clones without ships.
Well, he found a bunch of cloning canisters, or cylinders. Yes, cylinders.
Yeah. Spa-RT cylinders.
RT cylinders.
Because in this universe, the rule for
Cloning.
cloning is add
Add
another vowel to...
To whatever is involved with the cloning.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Jorus, Jor-us, to use.
And as we will see later in the book, Luuk.
Luuk. Right.
Skywalker. I remember this was a few years ago. I think it was like right around the Disney buyout. There was an April Fool's that went around where it was like it was breaking news that Timothy Zahn was going to make another iteration of or another continuation of the Thrawn trilogy. And they were going to take aspects from like the Clone Wars series and kind of bring it forward into this.
Oh.
And it was going to have Skywalker. Three U's.
3 U's.
Or something like that. And I was like kind of like thinking, what? I'm like half excited and half terrified.
Honestly, I wish that had happened.
But then like the end of the story was like, sorry, April Fools, that's not happening.
It's a shame. It would have been good. Better than what we got. Curtis, you think 3-syllabled Luke would have been worse than The Rise of Skywalker?
Well, that's a good point. If there would have been some crazy Luke clones going on or something,
Yeah.
would have been pretty intense.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
have been like, Kirk fighting Kirk.
That happened in
I
Star
know.
Trek 6.
That, and there were episodes.
Oh, right. All the
Transporter.
episodes where he becomes
Yeah.
two people.
Yep.
Where he fights his alternate universe ego or
Mhm.
something, and something else happens.
Kirk just has so many problems with
With
fighting
what?
himself.
Fighting himself?
Yeah,
Maybe.
just like Luke Skywalker in this book.
Segue back on topic.
Nice.
So yeah,
It's flawless.
Thrawn's got a bunch of ships, got a bunch of clones.
Now he's winning.
Yep. Jorah
Handily.
Sabaoth is mad because he still doesn't have Princess Leia.
And now he doesn't have. He lost Luke.
Yep. And while all this is happening, they're at some weird planet. Leia and Han, they're flying around some planet, and Jorah Sabaoth senses her and decides to send a random attack after them. And the Imperials are like, "Why are you doing that? That's not a part of the plan." And Jorah Sabaoth is like, "She's here. I can sense them. I'm
She will be
crazy."
mine. Oh, yes. She will be mine.
And so there's like a brief little skirmish, but eventually they're able to escape. Han and Leia, they get to go back to Coruscant.
Zoom.
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom.
Let's see.
Using the Kraken twist must be quite a maneuver.
I
Yes.
I wonder if they met Jack Sparrow in there.
Huh.
Huh.
It's a lot of teeth.
I just watched all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies recently.
There's 3 pretty good ones in there.
Yeah. The first 3, not bad.
Not bad.
4 gets
Four's,
like,
it's okay. I think.
It's fairly redundant,
Yeah.
and they clearly introduce new characters to fill the spots of the characters that they didn't get back.
Mhm.
And then they did the same thing in number 5. But number 5 has an even worse and more boring story.
Yeah. Kind of.
Welcome to our discussion about Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
I can't pinpoint what exactly went wrong. Other than that, they were just kind of reusing the old gags.
I think I know the answer, because in the 5th movie, they state that Jack Sparrow has run out of luck, which was why he was able to make all of those.
Oh God, I forgot
Whatever
the plot of this movie.
situations.
Why are you reminding me of the plot of this
right.
movie?
Where he's like he's
Can
able
kick
to
the
like,
rope and-
and
yeah.
just like get out of any situation and whatnot, and always come away with some money or whatever.
They tried to explain Jack Sparrow being awesome as magic. That's stupid.
Something. So, and that's why he's all washed up, and I think that's kind of why the movie suffered more.
Well, you know, he was also washed up because what's his name that plays him? I can't think of his name right now.
Johnny Depp.
He was having a hard time in real life at that point.
True. Yeah. I love it how in the 3rd movie, when it cuts to black, you hear the sound effects from
The ride
the Pirates ride.
They
Yeah.
go over the edge.
Yep.
over again.
Right. We're getting
Really
we should go
off topic.
Over back to the
Curtis,
last
you should
command.
actually cut this little segment out and just like release it as a side video.
Ah, yes.
Our abbreviated Pirates of the Caribbean series discussion.
I like it. I like it.
I think it's a great idea.
So apparently Luke is trying to find Thrawn's cloning facilities.
Yes.
He's on some other weird
Right,
planet where
he's
he
on
meets
that
up
planet.
with Talon Card.
Because he's like, I can sense the weird minds.
Yes.
So I'll be able to track them.
Mm-hmm.
But little did he know that Thrawn was funneling clones through that weird planet, knowing that Luke was going to go there and would be able to throw him on the wrong trail.
Thrawn's
Art.
just so smart.
He's a genius.
Yes.
He's a Grand Admiral, Curtis.
Right.
He's got to be smart.
The art told me to do this.
What
Whatever.
happened to all the other Grand Admirals?
They all died.
The New Republic killed them.
Yeah.
Thrawn happened to be in the unknown regions while the New Republic was mopping up Grand Admirals and whatnot. And that it kind of makes sense because the Grand Admirals, in the power vacuum left by the Emperor would have been kind of fighting each other as well as the New Republic.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thrawn came back, and there's no more Grand Admirals to fight against, so I guess I can just focus on the New Republic.
Mm.
Was
Lucky.
Kind of how I looked at it.
Yeah, probably.
Makes sense.
So what happens next? Oh, we go over to Mara Jade's perspective, and she is waking up from her recovery. She
Right.
was left on Coruscant. Talon Card just kind of was like, she can stay there
Well,
to heal.
he didn't have proper medical facilities for her.
Because she
Sure.
ejected from her ship
Right.
Yep.
in the battle. That's right.
And apparently Ghent also decided to stay, the Master Slicer.
I think Card kind of left in there to look after her
Okay,
because he knew that Gent wouldn't bolt off and leave at any point.
yeah.
He's not that kind of guy.
He's just a talker. Or he just
He's-
answers
he's-
questions.
He's just a slicer.
Yeah,
He answers questions when asked.
yep. And he's been reading the news all the time, and he's also figured out, oh, I think I know more about this Delta Source thing
Right.
now.
Yeah. Someone asked me about it, and I was like, I can take a crack at it.
Yep.
I figured out a bunch of stuff about it.
Yep. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Delta Source.
So
Delta Source.
Mara Jade is going to go try to meet with Princess Leia, and she runs into what's her face? Winter?
Oh, right. Winter.
And they have a brief conversation, and Winter kind of puts together that, it's because Mara Jade knows that she had a code name during
right,
the rebellion,
yes.
the Targeter, because we've learned that Winter apparently has a photo memory.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so they would use Winter, the rebellion would use Winter to learn the layout of a base or whatever, write it all down, send it to the Republic or to the rebellion, and they would, or something.
I didn't remember any of those specifics, but I remember that she had a code name and she had really good memory.
Yeah. And so because Mara Jade knew this, Winter's like, I'm going to look more into you, Mara
You're
Jade.
an Imperial.
Yeah, you might.
You shouldn't
have
know that code
connections.
name.
Yeah. I don't know. So,
He doesn't know.
Luke tracks clones.
yep, keeps tracking the clones. He's able to figure out that where the clones are because he can sense where the blank spaces are, because the blank spaces are where the Ysalamiri are. And they're using
right,
the
yeah.
Ysalamiri to make sure that these clones don't go completely crazy. I think. They explain that the Ysalamiri pushes back the Force and
Yes.
this kind of cloning.
But
Oh, right,
No, no,
because cloning has a lot to do with the Force in this.
in this iteration. But
Yeah.
when their clones are fully grown up, they don't need to be around the Salamiri. They just have weird brains. And
Okay.
Luke's like, they're weird. I can sense that.
Yeah. I think Luke also meets up with Talon Card on this
Yes,
planet.
on this random planet.
And the Empire had apparently seen him at some point, so Luke has to make a quick escape, and he jumps off a building, or he jumps off a wall, or
Something.
I don't know. He
Right, they
takes out his
spotted
lightsaber,
Luke.
and he's like,
And he gets out. And the governor or the head honcho of the city is has to report to Thrawn.
yeah,
'Cause he's kind of in his pocket, and he leaves out that Card was there, but the assistant that transmitted the message
Yeah.
is Thrawn's agent, so he includes all the extra stuff.
yes,
Of course.
that's how that
I just
works.
remembered that.
So Thrawn continues to search for the clones, and he's kind of
Luke,
is it or not?
you said Thrawn.
Sorry, I meant Card.
Oh yes.
Card continues searching for the clones, and he's kind of led to a bunch of different planets. and he meets up with some other smugglers. At
Right,
some
he
point.
puts together his smuggler crew,
Mm-hmm.
his group of smugglers, smuggler bros,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think like these other smugglers that he met.
smuggler coalition.
Yeah, they were attacked by some Imperials, so they decide to meet with a bigger group of smugglers. That's where the smuggler coalition comes into formation.
Some of them had like an Imperial run-in or something.
Yeah.
But then they get attacked at the meeting.
Yep.
Because who's at that meeting? Not
Ni-
Lando, but Niles Ferrier, smoking his signature cigar.
Right.
I think Card has a comment about it. He's like, I always hate the smell of that or something.
Yeah.
And I bring attention to that specifically because Ferrier was not invited to the meeting.
Mm.
Yeah.
He just inserted himself into it.
He just shows up.
He just shows up. Well, there was enough leeway where the invitation that Card sent out wasn't like directed at specific people. It was just kind of a general invitation to the people he sent it to, and one of them might have mentioned it to Ferrier, and because he wasn't told to be excluded, he could have just shown up because he heard about it.
Yeah.
When in reality, Thrawn intercepted the message and told Ferrier to go there.
Mm-hmm. But he didn't want the Empire to attack at all.
Right, that was
But-
Ferrier's doing.
Yeah, Ferrier got a commando or got a troop or whatever to attack.
Yes.
And he did this so that he could gain favor with Card.
Yes.
So then he could then double-cross him to Thrawn later on.
Right. Ferrier thinks he's a thinker, but he's not.
No.
And especially in comparison to Thrawn, where Thrawn's like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. He's more of a sheeple.
Yeah. Well, the interactions between Ferrier and Thrawn are really telling in that regard, where Ferrier's like, oh, I see what you're doing, and Thrawn's like, no, that's not what I'm doing at all. I'm doing this thing. Oh, now I get it. And he's like, sure you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ferrier's the attack he arranged sort of creates the coalition, whereas before they probably weren't going to go for it.
Yeah. I think we glossed over something else that happened. When Luke left that planet where he met Talon Card, he had a bit of a run-in with some Imperials, had a little shootout,
Pew
and
pew.
he escaped, but he damaged his ship.
Again?
Yeah,
Oh,
His
yeah.
power cells run out of charge.
that's it.
Oh no.
So he's trying to
no.
find the nearest planet to get assistance, and he just so
Right.
happens to go by the Nogari planet.
Right.
And
No, he was like, what planets are in range? And the
Yeah.
Nogari planet was one of the ones he could reach. And he's like, well, Leia told me all about him. Might as well go there.
Luckily, Luke can just use the Force to push his X-wing around because there's no gravity in space.
But
Should
he
be
can't.
Easy.
He can't push it at the speed of light.
He probably, if he tried hard enough,
If he tried
and
hard.
he used Force lightning to light the to
Do
recharge
or
the
do
power
not.
cells.
There is no try,
Right.
Curtis.
Boom. Go
Boom.
really fast.
can I get lightning stuff to come out of my fingers?
I don't think that
No,
one's happening.
that's so much time in After Effects. Can't.
Can't be done.
Nope.
What was I? I was watching Corridor Crew, and they were talking about the dude that made After Effects because
Oh, right, I saw that.
yeah, because the dude that made it, the first
Who
movie
made Photoshop
yeah.
for...
No, I think it was a After Effect.
No, it's Photoshop.
Okay.
Well,
Pretty-
Photoshop
but it was-
and After Effects are both by Adobe. So
Yeah,
they're in the same
so-
wheelhouse.
It was because of the movie
The one with the weird water monster thing that
the
proved
The
that-
Abyss.
The Abyss, that's it.
Oh yeah.
'Cause that was the precursor to Terminator
2. Because
and
the
yeah.
Abyss proved that the technology was there for Terminator 2 to be made, but the Abyss, the creation of Photoshop or whatever that original thing was for that movie by some dude. I don't remember.
It's a guy and it was like two brothers or something. It was
remember.
it was ridiculous.
Do not know.
Ridiculous.
So now-
Ridiculous. If I don't meet
it
that
makes me
woman
wanna-
tomorrow, I may never be born.
Ah,
Bringing it back. Sorry.
Bringing it back from last week's episode.
Did
Yes.
that make it into last week's episode?
It will now
Really?
with what we
I'd-
filmed earlier.
I don't remember what we filmed earlier. It's all gone.
anyway.
So he goes to
Loke.
Onager or whatever, and he's led to the
Oh, right,
what's it
the
called?
Secret ravine.
The future of the Noghri, which is where they are able to have they're able to grow crops and have like big forests or whatever.
So they were able to do this in the time that Leia was gone? Is
Apparently.
that what the
guess.
idea
That's
was?
that's the implication, Curtis.
Hmm.
You know what the best part is? They don't get their planet back.
No,
Oh.
it's too far gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
They got that small section, but that was it.
Well, their population moves. If you read The Hand of Thrawn, you find that out.
I haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
Luke has a vision.
That's a vision.
Yes.
Vision of...
Leia is
Leia
in
having a
trouble,
kid.
in pain, or something.
Yeah.
And I think it's at this time Leia's in a whatever council meeting or
Oh, right.
something, and she goes into labor. And
Oh, yeah. But Luke's vision, he's like, ugh, they're in trouble. I remember the last time I got a vision. I ran off and kind of made things worse, so I'm not going to run off and save them.
I've grown.
I've grown.
Yes.
Look, character growth. Incredible.
Yep.
Power converters.
Tashi Station?
Station. There's an interview that Mark Hamill did, and he said he intentionally did extra whining for that scene.
It all
So
makes sense.
it's
now.
literally his fault that Luke comes across as a whiner.
That's pretty good.
That's great. I'm very glad that I know this.
So Leia gives birth to the twins, Jaina and Jason, and all is happy for a brief moment. And
Then the Imperial attack in the palace? Or in the...
it's either that or I think that's technically when the smuggler coalition gets attacked.
Oh, we were out of order.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
But so that all happens, Thrawn and Farrier are talking for a little while, and
Right,
Farrier's
Thrawn's
a
like,
sheeple, and
You've disappointed me.
Mhm.
Coalition would have fallen apart, but you brought them together.
Your artwork would just be black and white stripes.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
But here's what you will do. You will continue to work for me, and you will ingratiate yourself with the smugglers and tear them apart from the inside.
Yes. Okay, so I think this is when
Leia's enjoying days away from politics.
so she finally gets a break for once. Because that's something that she also talks a lot about, because what was it? Bella Bliss knew that he couldn't do much for the Republic or the new Republic because Mon Mothma didn't really trust too many people with more power or something. So she really wanted Leia because she trusted Leia so much. That's why she never had a break. So now she finally has a break due to the children, I guess.
Give me a break.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But Mara Jade,
Still sticking around.
yeah, she's there. Princess Leia is told by Winter that Jade might be an Imperial.
Former Imperial?
Not sure. So
Not
she goes and confronts Jade, and she straight up tells her that I was the Emperor's hand.
And I'm going to kill your brother.
And
Here's why.
Yep. And Leia's like, are you sure that your reasoning isn't somebody else's reasoning?
Are you
That
sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Which is an interesting idea that doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's just more conflicted throughout the rest of the book.
Right, but the resolution
Yeah.
doesn't come out of that idea, which I find upsetting.
Yeah. Oh well. So. Oh well. Jade senses that there's trouble brewing.
Trouble afoot.
Yeah. And she notices that there's a group of New Republic guards that are not where they're supposed to be, and so she follows them because she knows all the secret passages throughout the palace. And she runs into Lando and some other security dude.
Oh, right. Lando popped out of his room. He was like, I heard something or something. He's got his blaster.
My, what
Yes.
have we here?
Yeah.
He's got to go back and get his blaster from his room.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I remember that, but I do.
So Jade is like, yeah, I think something's going to happen to the princess or whatever.
The princess, she's here?
Yeah.
We're doing references, Ryan.
Yeah. Anyways. It's just drew a blank for a second. Leia and Han are asleep and they're awoken because Leia senses danger. And sure enough, they're getting shot at by these other guards. And they're
They
getting
barricade
behind,
stuff, and they're
behind a couple couches. And I think Han is like, well, it was about time to get new furniture, I guess.
great line.
What about this couch?
Yeah. Got this whole couch, and they just threw it away.
I lifted up tall ways. So they're scurrying around, and they're shooting at each other for a while. And Mara Jade, she knows the secret passages or whatever, and she's able to warn Leia that you need to drop your weapons and say that you're surrendering.
Right.
Because as soon as that happens, Mara Jade pops out of nowhere and shoots everybody. But one of them is still alive.
Is he?
Yeah, because the one dude that survived points out that Mara Jade was our contact. She's an
Oh,
Imperial.
yeah.
And so that's where the New Republic is like, oh,
Dun,
they
dun,
pointed her out. Means we gotta...
Time to put her in prison.
Yep, time to lock her up.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. It's not like he would point her out to put her in prison.
Yeah.
That's what Leia thinks, and she knows to be true.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
So,
Is this when Thrawn attacks Coruscant?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a big battle, and I think this is when Gent is kind of wandering around during the battle. And they put up the shields around Coruscant.
Yes.
Because there's some... They think that there are these things around the planet that are going to shoot them.
There are things around the planet, not
Okay.
they're going to shoot them.
Okay.
Thrawn cloaked asteroids
Hmm.
and shot them out of his ship so that they'll orbit the planet and potentially rain down fire and destruction
Yeah.
because he can't detect them. And they don't know how many asteroids there are, so they're gonna have to leave the shield up in order to make sure that the asteroids don't kill them all.
Okay. Yeah, so Gent is wandering around, and eventually he helps at a computer
Right.
or something.
Yes.
And so he gets all excited to do that. And I think at the same time they're still trying to figure out what Delta Source is and where it was coming from.
They're
Or
still trying to figure that out.
Mhm.
Don't they figure that out right after this?
Pretty much, yeah.
Curtis, what did you think of the grand reveal of Delta Source?
I don't even remember.
That should tell you all you need to know about the grand reveal of who Delta Source was, or rather, what it was.
It was trees.
Was the trees.
It was the weird glowing trees
Right.
that would glow different colors
thought it
when
was
people
red.
talked around
It like
them.
did ripples or something. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I don't remember.
It's interesting. Timothy Zahn literally had free reign. He could do
Anything.
whatever he wanted.
Trees. Weird glowing trees, Curtis.
Right. It's different.
Organic microphones.
Yes.
How that makes sense, I don't know, but
It's like the Star Trek Discovery and the mushroom drive.
this isn't a comparison you want to make.
I haven't watched anything about the mushroom drive, but I'm just... Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a thing.
it is a thing. 'Tis a thing, indeed.
Delta Source.
So yeah, then they tear it apart, and Thrawn's like, Delta Source will no longer be giving me information.
So did Thrawn learn about these trees through art?
I think he was just he knew enough about what the Emperor was doing.
He had the Emperor's storeroom. Presumably there would be information about things in the Emperor's palace there.
Ah, yes.
Could be.
Would be my line of thought. Indeed.
At some point, Leia goes and talks to Mara Jade while she's imprisoned.
Mara's like, get me out.
Yep.
I want to leave.
Yep, she would like to leave. And this is when she finally learns about the clones being used in Thrawn's campaign. And that's where she then figures out where
Thrawn was.
Yep, where Thrawn's, or where the Emperor's storeroom is, because that's where the cloning cylinders are. So this is where Luke, Lando, Han, Leia, and all the other characters kind of meet up, and they're like, okay, we got to put together a plan, because maybe Mara Jade can lead us to this weird planet.
But to get her to lead us there, we have to take care of the asteroids orbiting the planet. And then Talon Card's like, I know how many asteroids there were. We skipped over that. His crew was doing some smuggler coalition thing to undermine the Empire, and he saw them load up 23 asteroids into the ship.
23? Yeah.
23.
And then
they blew up a Star Destroyer, right?
Yes.
At some point.
At some point.
Maybe.
An almost completed Star Destroyer.
Yes. Something.
A lot of stuff happens in these books.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff. So yeah, we might be jumping ahead a decent amount when Card's like, yeah, there's 23, you're good to go. Because 23 explosions had been detected.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think Han and Luke and Mara, they had broken Mara out, and they had already left Coruscant. Because I think they left before the battle happened. Maybe.
Did they?
It might have. Because I don't know how else they could have left with the shield up.
They couldn't. I thought that was part of the problem. And then
Yeah.
Card was like, but you got them all, you're good to go. And then they broke her out.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. If only Curtis had a synopsis in front of him.
We're talking about Mara?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just says, after Imperial forces jump out of the system, Mara Jade's absence is discovered.
Oh, so they broke her out kind of during the battle then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would be my thoughts. What I put together based on that statement.
Okay. Well, Mara tells Han and Lando and all of them that she had only ever been to this planet once, and she didn't quite remember everything, but she knew, like, based on a couple different planets that they stopped at, she could figure it out. And they eventually get to Wayland.
Wayland.
And she tells them about how there are some other alien tribes that are out there that
3 species. There's humans, and the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what they're called.
Oh, also, what had happened before they left, the protection for Princess Leia was the Nogari. They smuggled them in, and they disguised them as
Jawas.
Jawas.
That I do remember.
Yep. Because they're about the same height.
Houdini.
Ooh, teeny.
And so we get back to Wayland. They're going around the jungle, and they're trying to...
Right, they have to land far away, and they're trekking through the jungle.
Mm-hmm. And they're noticing that every once in a while there are some other aliens or animals that were killed in front of them that could have harmed them.
Right.
And they're trying to figure that out for a while.
It was a bunch of Nogari.
Yep, it was some Nogari that followed along and decided...
Got to protect Lord Vader.
Yep.
Right.
Our son of...
And
the son of the
and
Savior.
the consort of Lady Vader.
Yes.
These people are important
Yep.
to our weird pseudo-religious views of them.
Yes. And while they're trekking through the jungle...
Trekking through the woods.
Yes. From Shia LaBeouf.
Damn it. I did it too. Damn it.
Mara's talking to one of the Nogari, and one of the Nogari is like, I bet you probably knew that about how we were being used by the Empire. And she's like, yeah, there were a couple like snickers and laughter in the court. They made jokes about it. And then they're talking about Luke, and the Nogari let it slip that Luke is the son of Darth Vader, and Mara's like, huh? Because in an earlier conversation, Luke was trying to correct the story because from her point of view...
The Jedi were evil.
Yes, the Jedi were evil.
They literally killed her master.
Yep, because it was in the whatever that vision is that she keeps seeing, it's Luke and Darth Vader attacking the Emperor together. But Luke is like, no, that's not how that happened. I was trying to save Vader, and she's all confused. Why would you be trying to save Vader? That doesn't make any sense. And then Nogari tells him, yes, Luke is the son of Vader. And she's like, oh, this can't be.
This is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Even for a computer.
Even for a computer.
So they keep trekking through the
going.
woods.
Yep, that happens.
They get there.
There's lots of stuff with Thrawn planning battles. They again found whatever evidence to clear Admiral Akbar.
Yes.
That happened.
It was ridiculous, Charger.
So now he and Bella Bliss are planning a clever offensive.
Yep.
Where they're masking their real attack by making it look like they're covertly going to attack a different position to get some device that would allow them to figure out where the asteroids above Coruscant are.
Yep.
And then Thrawn's like, they're trying to make it look like they're going to attack this place, but really they're going to attack there. Of course.
I think this is where they bring in Admiral Akbar's art.
Oh, yes, this is. I have
paintings.
studied his boat very thoroughly.
Painting of a boat.
Yes. We also skipped the bit where Joris used his mind influence to make Pelion do something and
Oh, yeah.
all that other stuff.
He was going to tell Thrawn about something, but then he forgot.
Because Joris made him forget.
Yep. And then Joris finally decides he's going to go back to Wayland.
Yes, he's like, I'm going back. Bye.
And as he arrives there, he's like completely corrupted the Imperials that are on this shuttle. And he's like making them say these weird sayings. It's like, it will be the beginning of his end or something. And it was like, wow, you've really messed with the dude.
Yeah, and then Thrawn's like, make sure none of those guys get inside the base.
Mm-hmm.
But they already took like heavy weapons out of the base, and that was sort of Joris's plan. He knew Thrawn wouldn't let them roam around, I think.
I think.
Yeah.
But before... I think before, because eventually Sabaoth would go to the Imperial chamber, or like the
Well, that's where they locked him up.
before that had happened, he had like a discussion with some other Imperials, and then he left.
Right.
So we learn later on what that discussion was about.
Yes.
So it was,
Well, I brought up the Pelion thing,
Yeah.
which because Pelion had to convey a message to the Wayland forces to start a clone on a specific sample,
That's
which
it.
we'll get back to later. And so his conversation when he arrived would probably have been about that.
yeah.
Yes. It all comes together.
Yep.
He
I think we also have to talk about how Thrawn had eventually they figured out what was going on with Niles Ferrier,
Oh yeah, that happened.
because they were meeting up.
Their
some other
smuggler
random planet.
coalition was meeting up, and they're like, "We're not having luck." And Farrier tried to do what Thrawn told him to do, but did it with ineptitude
Yeah.
and gave himself away.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't mention that at all. And he's like, it's common sense that would have been there. And he's really trying to backtrack his way out. And then it's like, yeah, it didn't work. And so he runs away and he leaves his wraith to try to stop all of the other smugglers.
Right, but he's not actually a fighter. He's
Yeah.
only really good at being stealthy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Niles Ferrier's trying to fly away, and then
To catch him or something.
yeah, Mazik, the other smuggler who in the comic he looks cool because he's got these cool red goggles.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, can I kill him? He's like, be my guest, and blows up.
Oh.
That was the end of Niles Ferrier.
We never smelled him again.
I think that eventually leads to him figuring out where all the asteroids are and disabling them. I think that happened earlier on, but I don't know. We're back on Wayland. They're Luke and Han and Lando. They're all trudging around the forest. Luke is trying to train Mara a little bit more. It's like, here, practice with my lightsaber. You try to use the Force. Because I think Luke and Mara had another conversation where he's like, how much of the Force did you learn from the Emperor? And she didn't learn a whole lot. And you made last week, I think you made a comment that the Emperor probably wouldn't have trained her all
right.
that much because he didn't want too many powerful Force beings out there that could possibly backstab him.
Would want any Inquisitors out there. Oh.
Oh.
Yep.
That's
shoot.
all. Is that all new canon, or did Inquisitors exist in old canon?
In old canon, they were just called Dark Jedi,
Right. And they existed in the Empire?
I guess.
Okay.
They were,
Interesting.
but I think they pretty much did the same thing.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I don't know. They get to the Wayland storehouse. They're by some vents. After meeting up with a couple other aliens.
Right. They bartered their way
Yeah.
passage, or they convinced them to give passage through their territory.
I
And
think,
then the other aliens decide to go and attack.
yeah. I think they were cool with them because they saw that Chewie got to carry a gun and he wasn't being treated like a slave.
Right. And they knew, well, the Wookiees would have been used as slaves to build the storehouse.
Yeah. Yep. So. Yep,
Team
they-
infiltrates the mountain.
Yep.
Dun, dun,
Are they
dun.
going to throw the One Ring?
Exactly.
That was a team of two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
At that point.
Yep. They get in. The Mara's kind of leading them around to a few different places. They eventually find the Spa'arti cloning cylinders where they're going to lay some charges. And
It's always Han and Chewie in the charges.
I think Lando and Chewie wind up having to set the charges.
Oh, yes.
And
Lando
Han,
and Chewie.
Han runs after Luke and
Right.
Leia.
It's always Chewie in the charges.
Does Leia arrive with Talon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets a ride because Leia tells Talon Card that, oh yeah, sorry that Mara Jade isn't here. We're using her right now to get to Wayland, and yeah, but they eventually are able to get there. Like all of the fleets kind of converge on Wayland at some point.
No,
or...
all of the people
Yeah.
converge. The fleets wind up fighting somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah, so they get there. Talon Card, Leia eventually get there. Luke and Mara decided that they were going to go look in the
Emperor's whatever
throne
room.
Yeah, his throne room.
Yes.
And that's where they confront Sabayoth, who does not have any force abilities at this time. Ysalamiri were blown up.
Yes, they went bye-bye.
Oh, right, and it was confusing.
It
Yeah.
was.
How did he do it?
I don't know.
He overcame their force suppression
Yes,
abilities.
totally.
Something.
And then he's like, "You will fight my new apprentice, Luke."
Yep.
Dun dun dun.
Dun.
Yep. So then it's clone of Luke Skywalker. He was cloned from the hand that was chopped off. Ah.
Palpatine was like, "That hand's gonna come in useful one day."
Yeah.
That sounded a lot worse in my when it came out. Shit.
And apparently the lightsaber was still in his hand because this Luke still has that lightsaber.
Yeah.
And so they're battling. Mara Jade gets injured at some point because Sabayoth is like,
Then Han rushes in, or is Leia the first? I don't remember.
Leia, Han,
Everyone
and
just starts
Talon.
piling into
Yeah,
this one room.
They all just kind of converge there, and Leia like throws her lightsaber, or they get her lightsaber, and Luke is still fighting Luke, and Mara somehow gets Leia's lightsaber, and she kills clone Luke.
Oh yeah. I mean, we cut out like everything in that fight, but all
Yeah.
right, we're skipping to the end.
I don't know, like what else? I honestly don't remember what else happened during that fight.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
There's
Solo tries to shoot Sabayoth.
That
The
happens.
Sane Jedi Master goes berserk.
Right. He catches the blaster bolts like Vader, and then other stuff happens, and Luke's jumping around from platform to platform, and there's a whole thing.
Okay.
It was long.
Yep. So, clone Luke is down.
Clone Luke is dead.
So,
DED.
so Mara Jade has fulfilled her master's final wish to kill Luke Skywalker
By killing his clone.
by killing his clone.
Luke.
Luke.
That's a way to end that. All right. Moving on.
But Sabayoth is still there, and they now have to try to kill him.
They turn Luke and Mara Jade. And they're like, all right, time to go down.
Yep.
Kill him.
So they eventually do, and like Mara Jade like throws the lightsaber into him or something. It's
There was a
kinda-
goofy, penultimate end of that.
Mhm.
Then he explodes like the Emperor, and he blows a hole in the mountainside, which
Yep.
gives them an easy escape tunnel.
Handy.
Convenient.
And I think while all this is happening, so Thrawn is engaging the New Republic because
Yes.
he was like, I know where they're actually going to attack. And
Yes.
Talon
did.
Card's people were also there, so the battle is going on. And at that moment, he was getting a report from Pelion about how Luke and Han and all of them had infiltrated the mountain at
Tantus.
Wayland. Yep, Mount Tantus. And Pelion reads off that they were spotted with a couple of Nogari. And at that moment, Rook pops out from his little
Shadowy
corner.
corner.
Yep, and he goes and
stabs Thrawn in the chest, and he's
Yep.
dead.
Can't believe
End
you
of
portray him
story.
like that.
but it was so artistically done.
Right. His last line.
His red eyes fade into black. Yeah.
And it's over. Pelion retreats. He's like, I can't do this.
Yep.
We out.
Yep. New Republic
Bye-bye.
wins. They head back to Coruscant afterwards, and Luke kind of invites Mara Jade to, you can always come
Stick
and
around.
stick around and become a Jedi, and he gives her his, well, it's not technically his,
Skywalker's lightsaber.
yes,
Yes.
and
Not Rey's.
no.
No.
Ah.
Disney rebranded so that whenever they sold it, it was branded as Rey's lightsaber. I made the same face, Curtis, or a similar face. It's Anakin's lightsaber. If you really want to be technical, it's General Grievous's lightsaber because he added it to his collection for 5 seconds in Episode 3.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Your lightsaber.
Oh, right.
Fine edition.
So, I
Collection.
mean, if we're getting real technical, Anakin stole it from that collection.
With how much? I guess it's just George Lucas being George Lucas, but you would have thought that he would have included somewhere at the end of Episode 1 or the beginning of Episode 2 the construction of that lightsaber. It's like a fairly
that would have been
important
cool.
piece in the Star Wars lore, but
Nope, it's just there.
I'm George Lucas. I can do what I want.
He can do what he wants.
maybe they're gonna do.
Oh, no.
They're going to do a
Please
prequel
no.
to the Clone Wars TV show called the Pre-Clone Wars, and they'll show it.
Why?
And we'll have an interweaving story of how Anakin and Ahsoka actually met several times before she became his Padawan. Perfect. Exactly
Why?
what Noah would want.
Yeah.
More Ahsoka.
And that was the end of The Last Command.
That's true.
We hope you enjoyed.
Well, Curtis, what did you think of the end of The Last Command?
I always forget how much more detail books go into all these stories.
Oh,
and there
yeah.
are just so many more elements, and like, whoa, compared to a movie where it's like pretty straightforward usually.
The extended editions of The Lord of the Rings would like a word with you.
Wow, that's an exception. And then The Hobbit is way too much extra.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I don't think I've seen any of those since they came out, except maybe once on DVD. But I
You're
don't even
so
think
lucky.
I don't think I saw the third one on DVD, so I'm
We have it.
in good shape. No, that's
It's extended.
all right.
You don't need to see it.
I'll rewatch, The Lord of the Rings at some point.
That's a better idea.
Dun, 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 dun.
I've been watching. I know it's so. I don't want to say it's kind of stupid, but I've been watching this other YouTube channel where this girl is like watching. First, she watched the Star Wars movies for the first time ever. She had never seen them before. She's about our age and had never watched them.
So she just reacts to it. And
Yeah,
stuff?
and it was kind of interesting. And then she watched the sequel. Did she watch the sequel or just the prequel movies? And she got really sad while watching Revenge of the Sith. But
Revenge of the Sith is so good.
she is now currently watching the Lord of the Rings extended editions.
Hey.
Oh, man.
And she's like
at least 12 hours.
halfway through Return of the King finally.
Oh boy.
And
Oh,
yeah,
you still have 2 hours to go.
yeah.
It's a 4-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's like 4.5. It's so crazy.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was some of her reactions to it they're kind of entertaining, so it's
That content was spurred off by that guy who didn't watch Game of Thrones until season 7 started airing. And then everyone started copying. I just watched blank.
that's where
Or
it
I
all came
finally
from.
watched blank. That's basically where it
I
came
feel like that's something that's always been around on
Yeah,
YouTube.
but he popularized it
Okay,
because Game of Thrones was so big.
I guess.
Anyways, we're to the moment
Yeah.
that we talked about, I think in Dark Force Rising, our Dark Force Rising discussion, where there's payoff for what Leia's interaction with the Nogri.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that got cut or not. Who knows? We did have a discussion, in any case, about that.
I think we mentioned it.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
Well, I know we mentioned it. I just don't know if that was in the first half or the second half.
Mm.
In which case, we wouldn't have mentioned it in the re-recording. I don't think we did. But we had the discussion at some point.
Mm.
That didn't happen. Curtis, did you think that payoff was worth it? Or...
I mean, it's neat.
yeah.
I don't know.
I just think the ending is odd because you have 98% of the main characters over on Mount Tantus, Wayland, and they have very little to do with the downfall of Thrawn.
Oh, Thrawn.
Yeah.
I see. I get what you're saying now. Yeah.
It's
I
like
don't know.
Leia's
It's weird.
actions directly led to Thrawn's downfall, but it's kind of indirect.
Yeah, there's no... It's kind of... Well, it's not directly like Wrath of Khan, where Khan and Kirk never meet and fight, but it's kind of almost the same thing where something happens.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not a direct conflict.
So from that perspective, I'm not totally satisfied about how this ends, but it was 3 great books, and we got to meet Thrawn, and I don't know, it's cool.
And now
overall.
this ending isn't even canon, so they
Ha-ha.
can do whatever they want.
I mean, even in Legends, that ending wasn't an ending. They just kept
Right.
going and going and going until we were to Luke's great-great-great-great-great-grandson, Ben Solo. Wait, what?
No, Cade Skywalker.
He actually knows this shit?
I like those comics. They're actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Star
like
Wars Legacy.
1,000 years after everyone's dead or something.
140 or
I don't know.
130.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Loke didn't make it 140 years after?
Nope.
His ghost haunts Cade Skywalker.
Oh, boy.
So there's that connection. And there are some other Jedi that talk to him.
Can his ghost raise his X-Wing out of the water?
God, I hope not.
I don't think so.
And catch a lightsaber
And catch a lightsaber?
to undo the damage of a previously established movie.
That doesn't happen either.
Darn.
But they do at some point go to Tatooine, and they go to the Lars homestead.
Just like
and
the
he
end of
has-
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Do they bury lightsabers in the sand?
No.
He didn't bury Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber into the sand? The
He-
one place where he didn't want that lightsaber to ever be?
He had a weird Force vision where he was like living with Luke on Tatooine. It was like all the scenes from A New Hope, and he was just kind of like tagging along with him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I put on the hat because it is time to go.
Yes.
This discussion has lingered.
Yes.
Thrawn trilogy, pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's good stuff.
We got Thrawn.
Did get Thrawn.
There's more Thrawn in the future. We probably won't cover it
Probably not.
immediately. We'll get back to it in
3 years.
Yeah.
in a while. It'll be...
Do you think Mara Jade will ever appear into the
No.
Star Wars canon?
No, they kind of miss their... Well, I mean, they can do whatever they want, I guess. They can create a Star Wars multiverse. And
There are rumors of that actually happening, where they're going to Kelvin timeline the new movies. Be like, well, Rebels has that Veil of the Force thing, right? They're going to use
so
that
it's
to
a setup,
do
yeah.
parallel universes,
Oh, wow.
parallel timelines or some BS.
Chris Pratt can play Han Solo.
I don't know.
I wouldn't mind that. I like Chris Pratt.
I don't think he's a Han Solo type.
Tom Holland can play Luke Skywalker.
Don't remake movies. Stop.
Tobey Maguire can play Spider-Man. Wait.
Wait, what?
Oh,
I'd watch that movie.
Elliot. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll talk to you later about Tobey Maguire. But good show, everyone.
Good show, everyone.
Good clean show.
like and subscribe. Leave a comment.
Bye.
Bye.